All right, today we're talking all about this. What is in my camera backpack for birding YouTube in 2026? Let's get right into it. So I know gear is a very common question when it comes to YouTube stuff, so that's why I'm making this video. And not so much to say that you need to get all of these things, but if you're curious in this particular thing about how I create my videos, I hope this helps you out. So first, the backpack itself. Now I was looking for a backpack for a long time. If you remember my previous gear video when I covered all of my YouTube stuff, I was using a ski backpack for about a year and a half of starting this channel. I knew back then too that I definitely wanted to get a camera backpack with more protection, more dedicated slots for my stuff. The ski backpack worked for a while, it served its purpose, but I am so happy with this thing. Now this is the Think Tank Backlight, the 26-liter edition. They have some larger and some smaller. I do like the size. It is comfortable enough to be able to hike with it. It has all the ability to fit my stuff inside of it. There are times where I wish I had a smaller pack to take out on just shorter outings and things, but if that's the case, sometimes I'll just leave the backpack in the car and pull out the gear I need if I really need lighter weight. But anyways, this backpack has so many features, attachment points for gear, zippers that have caused me no issues, plenty of pockets for organization, 2 water bottle slots that can also be used for tripods. As you can see, there's a strap right here holding my tripod on the side. The other one I will normally have a water bottle in when I'm out in the field. And it also has a waist belt too, if you like those styles of backpack. I usually have it wrapped around the back because I don't use that. And then most importantly, it is super comfortable. Chest strap is incredible. If I really wanted to use the waist strap, I could. And yeah, not super big on my back, good for hikes and different outings and stuff. It is an awesome piece of gear. But let's move into what's inside it now. And I'll start kind of the outside and work my way in. First, I'm gonna unclip this carabiner here. This is something that the team from Freewell sent over to me. I'm gonna set this aside for now. But what I have here is an awesome pouch full of filters for my camera. Now, they don't work on my wildlife lens because my wildlife lens is too big, but for the lens I'm filming on right now, I have ND filters, there is a UV filters, or a UV filter, and then a circular polarizing filter. And these all attach, they come on and off magnetically, which is incredible. I'm gonna come up to the camera just to show you. I could pop on ND and all of a sudden it's a lot darker right now, which is not great for the studio environment, but is insanely nice for when I'm filming outside and I wanna keep the same shutter speed that I need to for the frame rate I'm filming at, but I need less light. And then one thing I also really enjoy too, instead of having to use my normal lens cap, it comes with the lens cap to protect your lenses too. So I can just leave the magnetic point on all the time and just pop this on there at the end of a day of filming with this camera. And it all comes in this nice sized pouch too. So seriously, thank you Freewell for sending me over these filters. They're an incredible product. I'll put their link in the description if you're curious about checking them out. But back to this big old bag of gear. Let's start with the tripod. This is a Siri AM324 tripod. It's carbon fiber. It has twist lock legs that it's like so perfect. When I have the tripod fully extended, it goes up to about here on me. I'm 5'7", and that's like perfect with my camera sitting on top of it. I can like lean down and kind of move around with all the shots I need. This is awesome. I looked for tripods for a while and finding the perfect balance between height, weight, but also having stability to be able to hold a wildlife lens is really tough. But I think this is about as good as it gets for me. I did replace the tripod head on here. This is a 46mm ball head. I wanted something a little more sturdy than what came with the system itself, so I opted for a bigger ball head. I know some people do prefer wildlife like heads or video fluid heads. I actually kind of like the ball head. It keeps this at a smaller form factor, whereas a wildlife gimbal head adds a lot more weight and stuff to this and more pieces that hang off. And honestly, this one attachment point and being able to rotate the head works really well for my needs when I am using the tripod. Okay, getting into the bag itself, let's start with the outside pocket. Right here, we have my wireless microphones that are currently being used. I have one on right now, and there's one over there that's charging, but I keep this pouch in my bag at all times. Has a couple other accessories in it. This is the DJI Mic 1, the first iteration of it. It works awesome. I've always been really pleased with the audio I get out of this, and when I'm out in the field, I'll put the little windscreen on it, and it kills wind really well. And it's just so easy to use with both my camera, it can also plug into my phone, and I love this thing. These mics are seriously so good. Also out here on the outside pocket, I try and have stuff at quick access that I might need frequently. I keep a couple lens cleaning cloths and a little blower mechanism. These are really crucial for keeping my lenses clear of dust and stuff when I'm out there filming, and even my binoculars too. I always want to have a couple of things to help me clean when I'm out filming. Now, just so you know, I am intentionally kind of breezing through all this gear quick so this video is not insanely long. If you ever want me to do a more in-depth review on a piece of gear, let me know and I might be able to make that for you. Also, these two outer pockets are intentionally not packed super tight. That's because I like to have snacks and other things with me when I'm out in the field. Or maybe there's a day when I want to do some nature journaling, so I'll bring a pencil kit and throw it in there, and a nature journal. So I have some options and flexibility, and I intentionally leave a lot of space in here so I can put other stuff in and out as I go. These things I'm showing you today are what I pretty much always have with me. But next piece of gear, this is the Vanguard Alta BCS battery case, I think. Pretty standard, like little pouch that I find pretty helpful. It's got a nice Velcro thing that can hook onto something else if you need to carry it with you, but it is exactly what you'd imagine it's for. Couple extra batteries for my cameras. I have an extra SD card if something happens, and I have a micro SD card reader if I have any micro SD cards for things like action cameras. Nice little pouch for my batteries. Next piece of gear is a power bank. I don't really think it is super important what kind. This one charges via solar. I honestly hardly ever need to use my power bank because my batteries last long enough, but I have one with me just in case. And I don't really know the brand of this. I got this for free from my company, so any power bank will likely do for some extra backup power. Then I have a pretty simple phone tripod that extends, so when I'm out vlogging and such, I will often put my phone in this to get a little bit of behind the scenes stuff if I need to capture some of those things, or even just set it up for a quick talking headshot. I have a pair of wired headphones if I ever need to monitor the audio of my camera. These ones are real old, and I honestly probably wouldn't recommend them, so I won't even put the name of them there. But I just think keeping a pair of wired headphones is pretty good as a filmmaker, so you can kind of monitor the audio if you need to. And then the last thing, just a couple of extra E-mount covers. These ones are both for the cameras themselves, so if I take the lens off the camera, I can put this plastic thing on there to protect the sensor. And that's it for those outside two pockets, honestly. Like I said, I don't stuff this thing full because I like the flexibility of taking some things in and out or bringing along snacks. Let's get to the bulk of what's in the backpack though, the main camera gear. So this whole back panel opens and you can see all of the stuff I have in here. Now, the main star of the show, Sony a7 IV with the Sony 200-600. I just did a review on the Sony a7 IV, so if you want to learn more about that camera, that video will be linked down below, and you can go check that out, and you'll see some of my thoughts on the camera body there. I also might do a review of the 200-600 lens at some point, but this lens has been out for a long, long time, so there's been plenty of people that have talked about that one. Main camera. Okay, looking at what else we have in here, just a couple of random things. This is a rain cover that came with the backpack, so if it really starts coming down hard, I will put this around my whole backpack to protect my gear. And then I have a pretty just simple plastic rain cover for my camera, so if there's really adverse conditions out there, I will put this around my camera and lens to protect that from the rain. Moving into some of the other pockets, you might notice this one is got nothing in it. That camera that you're watching me on right now usually is right here. I kind of think of it as a backup camera, or if I need to get some really high quality B-roll that I want a little more quality than just my iPhone, I'll use my Sony a6700. The Sony a6700 is an awesome camera. It's the one I used for a really long time before deciding to upgrade to the a7 IV. And then in a pocket down here, and on the other side, I have my drone. This is the DJI Mini 3. I did get the version with the remote control, the one that doesn't need my phone. It's just honestly so much easier and nicer to be able to pull out this controller, turn this on. I can get my drone up, get my shots really quickly, and then bring it back down instead of having to deal with plugging in my phone and not having my phone for other things. So yeah, for all of my aerial shots, I get them with a DJI Mini 3. Then I just have a different lens foot for my Sony. You'll notice the cotton carrier system is equipped on this lens foot because I pretty much am always wearing and using my cotton carrier. I did switch out from the one that comes with the Sony camera because that one honestly kind of sucks. And this replacement lens foot I got from iShoot, I believe, just makes it way better. It's more stable. It has a better plate for holding things like the cotton carrier system or just attaching to a tripod. Relatively new piece of gear is the Zoom H1 Essential. I wanted to get an audio recorder and kind of start dabbling a little bit in field recording. And so I will sometimes use this to capture bird songs, or I will put a microphone into the stereo input and record birds that way if I want to try out some field recording. It's been pretty fun to try and see if I can add some audio to some of my checklists. So yeah, Zoom H1 Essential has helped me do that. And then I also have my microphone in here along with its cable. This is the Rode Video Mic Go 2. It looks like this. I have the windscreen that comes with it on there too, pretty much at all times because the outdoors always at least has a little bit of wind. And then yeah, the cable that hooks up to my camera, both stored in there also. Then this backpack also has a couple of slots here. Nothing too important. I have my drone certification license in here and some travel documents, just in case anyone ever asks me questions about what I'm doing and if I am a licensed drone pilot, which I am. And then I keep some like helpful tools like Allen keys if I ever need to tighten tripod legs. And then down here, I have a couple of extra drone propellers if one of mine ever has an issue. And then a little baggie full of another lens cloth, an extra cotton carrier hub that I just have, another tripod plate in here, and another Allen key of a different size, and another Allen key of the same size of that. Apparently you can't have too many Allen keys, but you never know when you'll need to tighten a certain size screw out there. So yeah, I always keep these things in the pockets there. But honestly, that pretty much does it for the gear that I always have with me when I'm out birding and doing this YouTube channel. Now you might be wondering, Hogan, what the heck? Where are your binoculars? One second. Okay, if you watch my channel enough or watch my birding vlogs, you know I'm pretty much always wearing this cotton carrier, and I will have my camera hanging from this. I've done a full review on the cotton carrier. I'll link that down below too if you want to see that. Awesome product, but my binoculars are not in my bag because I'm usually wearing them so I can spot birds. These are a fairly new pair of binoculars. They're my Vortex Viper HDs 8x42. I have loved these, and then they have a cotton carrier attachment on them too, so I can wear my camera and then wear my binoculars all on my person, so I always have them just within hand's reach. So I wanted to quickly just mention those things because when it comes to birding, I sometimes need binoculars. Oftentimes I will just use my camera, but I still always have a pair with me. Now that's what's in my camera bag for 2026, and honestly, I think that's gonna be what's in my camera bag for years and years because I can't think of a lot of pieces of gear that I need to upgrade, at least in the next couple of years. Now that isn't what I bring with me on every single birding outing. That is what I bring with me anytime I'm filming a birding outing or filming a video for the channel. For birding only and not YouTube, it's a little bit different. I don't need all of that camera gear. I just usually need my binoculars, a lighter weight camera setup, and maybe my scope or something. In the future, I might make a video that's specifically focused on the birding gear, but for now, that is what's in my camera bag. Thank you, as always, for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next one. Happy birding.